So hi guys, I'm here at Starbucks and I was really thinking and wondering. I'm so thirsty. I went and worked out today. So I was wondering I had a moment where I was obviously clearly triggered at work when I was in the office about my coworkers complaining about the smell of my food. And, from my training on emotional regulation and emotionally regulating myself to not react, and blow up like I saw my parents did sometimes or people around me growing up, I really tapped into my body and felt the sensations of what I was feeling in that moment. And it did not feel good, Like I had just this big urge to retaliate. And it was funny because I felt the emotions in my body at first and I was like, okay, there's two ways this can go. I can let it go and just, do what he asks, have my food in the break room. But I was like, I'm feeling really fiery today. I kind of want to retaliate and tell them, they were talking too loud, They were doing something that was disturbing the peace too. And I know how cutthroat the work environment can be. And so I did what made me feel best, and that was retaliate and say, they're kind of talking loud and disturbing me from working. When, deep down, I didn't really care, but I felt personally attacked. So to build up my own personal power, I saw an opportunity to, stand up for myself. Now, did I need to? No. Did I overreact? Yes, I did. But, I was on my cycle and I tend to get a little headstrong when I'm on my cycle. And it kind of makes me just more savage and makes me want to I don't know, just engage in conflict more. I don't know why. Even though I'm really tired and a bit annoyed during that time because I'm going through so much emotions, especially being at work. That's really uncomfortable to be on your cycle, to be at work and to be hungry and have people complaining about the smell of your food while you're losing pounds of blood down there. That was a really uncomfortable situation for me. And I kind of felt bad because at the end of the day, the next day, they were kind of they were acting a bit nicer. I don't know why. I guess because, my manager had a talk with them about being too loud. But they were a bit nicer, but I was purposely being excluded because they were asking people questions and they asked everybody except me. But then I was kind of grateful because I was I don't want to talk at work. I'm already losing pounds of blood in my pants. I'm fatigued. I feel like I'm about to pass out. I still have to get a paycheck, but I do want to expend as less energy as I can. And I'm already talking to people on the phone all day. So that makes it 10 times worse. But I was coming to the conclusion about, there's a fine line of being disrespected, feeling disrespected, and knowing when to stand up for yourself and knowing when to let it go. This has been something that has been a challenge for me because I've had moments where people overreacted to me and were literally screaming at me in my face, and I just stood there calmly and I never talked to them again. And I look back at it and I'm like, I didn't retaliate because I didn't see that person worthy of engaging in negative emotions with. I was like, this person is obviously overreacting. They obviously have psychological issues you know, this person was like really like, you can tell they kind of had a rough upbringing. They had like tattoos all over. Not stereotyping, but this was the type of person I was dealing with. And I was like, this person isn't worth my precious like energy, you know, engaging with them. So I'm just gonna keep calm and carry on. And I didn't know if that was the right thing to do, because I noticed other people watching that interaction. And I know when people see that going on, they can take it two ways. They can be like, oh, she yelled at her and she stayed calm. Maybe I can yell at her too. Or they can just be like, you know, what was wrong with that girl? Why is she yelling at that girl? So, I don't know, but, you know, when I walked away from that interaction, like my heart was beating fast, and I felt like, I kind of felt like I wanted to like fight her. But I don't like fighting people, but, you know, I was like in the state of fight or flight. And I had flighted by choice, because I was like, I don't want to get in an argument with this person. Like, I don't think them worthy of that. I want to save my ammunition for something I really need or take seriously down the road. But then I look back on that situation now, and I'm like, oh man, I had some words for her. I could have told her this, and that. And then I'm like, she's not worth me thinking about later on. So maybe I should have just retaliated in that moment and got everything out right there. So, you know, I'm kind of like at a crossroads, because when I'm dealing with confrontational people and people being like overly aggressive like that, you know, I'm like, should I match their energy or just walk away? Like, I don't know if I would have matched her energy, would she would have like tried to kill me. I don't know, you know, like I think she was psycho, so I just walked away. But then again, you know, I always go back to that moment and I feel like maybe like, damn, I had some words for that bitch, or I wanted to kick her ass. And, you know, those aren't things I will act on today. But I still want my lick back in some type of way. But I keep telling myself, like, you know, I'm better off. I'll never see that person again. And I need to channel this energy into something that will make me money. And so, like, it's interesting because, you know, I look at, I follow this lady on YouTube, Mina Irfan, and she was talking about how she was at a store with her kids or something like that. And she was talking to this lady, and, you know, the interaction was fine with her. But once the interaction was over, her kid was like, that lady was disrespecting you. Why didn't you stand up for yourself? And she was like, what? I didn't even notice. And so a lot of times I'm in like this, I don't even notice they're being rude type of stage, or I just brush it off. And at the end of the day, like, I feel better because I'm saving my energy for something more grand, rather than going bickering back and forth with somebody who I barely even know. It's typically people who don't know me that well who like try me like that. And I'm like I feel more at peace when I just like act dumb, or being like, oh, maybe this person's having a bad day. Oh well, brush it off. Don't give them any energy. Like, I feel so much better at peace in those moments, when I don't react, when I don't retaliate, when I don't feel my emotions and be like, I feel offended, I'm gonna react. And at the end of the day, I keep my energy inside of me. I sleep better at night, and I don't like project too much energy into somebody I don't really value or care about. And it just makes me feel amazing all around. And so now I'm the type of person, like, after I've done something for so long, I like to do a 360 and switch it up, do the opposite. So lately, when I feel disrespected, I'm like, I'm gonna act on it. I'm like, I'm gonna tell them something. And so that's what I've been doing. But, you know, after I do that, I don't feel better about myself. And I'm like, was that really worth it? Like, I could have put my energy into something more beneficial. I didn't really want to get those people in trouble. I didn't care about them talking, so why would I say that? Because I felt triggered in that moment. You know, I reflect back on that moment and I'm like, that still wasn't worth it. And it makes me realize, you know, the levels of self-reflection and consciousness that I've progressed to where I can stop, pause, feel my emotions, and, you know, even if I do act on it later, I can be like, you know, that really wasn't necessary. You know, you're better than that. You need to utilize your energy into something that will bring you money. Even if they did disrespect you, even if they did trigger you, you know, it's never at a level to where I feel the need to even retaliate, because it feels like child's play. It's like, damn, this person is insecure today. Maybe they want some of my energy. Cute, but bye. You know, I have better things to do. So it's interesting because most of the times I just stay quiet and observe, and I honestly choose that over everything, because I used to blow up like a ticking time bomb, because I thought that was the right thing to do. That's all I knew. That's what I saw my parents doing. And after I did that, I felt stupid. I was like, oh man, this guy thinks I'm crazy. And I was just acting out what I saw. I wasn't really being my authentic self. And I don't know, it just left like a rotten feeling inside me. And it made me feel like dysregulated, because I wasn't being true to who I am in that moment. So I want some feedback on this. Like, what do you guys do when you're triggered or feel disrespected? Do you instantly act on it? Do you assess the situation and see if the person is worthy of a response? Or do you stay calm and plot later? What do you guys do? Let me know.